Hi, my name is Asia, and I'd like to talk today about the product adoption. So let's start. Imagine that situation that you just released the feature which can change your user's life, and you realize that nobody even noticed it. Sounds familiar? Today I will share my experience and my strategies to deal with it. And let me introduce myself a little. I have been working in startups past 10 years. My journey began at Right Hello. It was a lead generation agency, and we have our own prospecting tool. And then I go to Woodpecker. I was working for Woodpecker. It is a cold email software, and I was a product adoption manager. And now I'm working at Brand24, and I'm a product owner, and I am a leader of onboarding project, so it's highly connected with today's speech. Okay. So let's start few words about product adoptions, what does it mean, and what's the main problem with it. So the product adoption, we talk about product adoption when you release the feature, your users see this feature, use it, perfectly come back to this feature, and create a habit. And there are 4 main problems you can occur with product adoptions. Let's go through these problems. It is awareness, discoverability, complexity, and value proposition. So today I'd like to focus on awareness. So it's about when users see the feature, discoverability, if your users use your feature, complexity, if your feature is easy to use or set up, and value proposition. We mainly focus on this awareness, discoverability, and complexity because the value proposition is closely connected to the product discovery process. And about the product discovery process was talking here my colleague Carol, so probably some of you are familiar with it. If not, I saw that it's on YouTube, so it's really worth watching. Okay, so from my point of view, awareness and discoverability are really linked because you can work about awareness and discoverability with your marketing teams and customer teams together, mostly on awareness. So they can prepare for you some materials, then can schedule email campaigns, you can prepare some banners, but it's only one time. And when we are talking about product adoption, we are talking about something that maintains product adoption. So the key point when you release new feature is that the new feature should be accessible from the place your user already are and spend time with your applications. So it has to be in the really visible place, and it has to be connected with your current feature. The perfect way to link with current feature is when it's connected via, for example, use case is the same use case, or it's the same gets to be, or address the same jobs to be done. Okay, so I will share an example from Brand24, how we were working on this recently. I will give you a background of Brand24 because you don't know this application. So Brand24 is a social listening tool when our clients create a project and monitor their brand, the competitors, some influencers, some events, and we give those clients analytics, charts, some insight about it. And we discovered lately that we have some problems with adoptions of the comparison tab in our application. And we discovered it because we use Victor's framework. Victor, we will talk about it later. And we discovered that it's crucial for our conversion, and it is crucial for retention as well. So it's really important part of our applications. Yes, and as you can see, it is in the main menu, this comparison tab. And a lot of companies follow this approach when releasing new feature that they added to the main menu. But as you can see, our main menu is a little bit overcrowded, and it's really typical situation in many companies. I saw the really big and overwhelming menu. That is why I was looking for other ways to show this feature to our clients and to help them discover it and connect with the current feature they use. As it's a comparison tab, so our clients can compare their project with their competitors, or they can compare the project over time. So I was searching for a place in our application which deliver similar value. And I find out that in our analysis tab, we have something like overview when we deliver the clients the statistics of their projects. So you can see they have a lot of statistics and they spend time here to analyze their project. And lately, we add this comparison to the previous period. So we have these arrows, or it's growing or it's decreasing. So it was natural place to link for this comparison tab. And we add only a simple button here, see detail comparison, and it is linked to this comparison tab where our users can see the detailed information about this comparison and a lot of charts and a lot of detailed information. So we built some kind of bridge between those two screens, and the results was really amazing because in 1 week we increased the traffic in this comparison tab. In this period comparison, we doubled the traffic, so it's over 100%. And overall traffic in this comparison tab increased around 6%. And it's only 1 week, and it was one single button. Why did it work? It worked because we have a high traffic in this analysis tab because it's one of the main screen in our application. And furthermore, it is really connected. This overview and this comparison tab address the same jobs to be done. Okay, and another problem with product adoption can be complexity. When you know that you will release the feature that will be really complicated, your users will do a lot of effort to configure it, to set it up, or it's hard to understand, or it contains a lot of steps to set up. You can use one of 3 strategies. The first strategy is minimize effort. So for example, if you have, you will release the PDF reports with which are really customizable and white label, and you can add their own logo or charts or a lot of things. You can prepare, for example, really easy to use templates with no customization, with no logo, with your branding, just to see your users the value of these PDF reports. And when your users start using it and create a habit, they will be engaged enough to discover other features. So it's a one step by step, they will discover your feature. But I know that it is not always possible, so I have 2 more strategies. One of them is checklist. I'm really big fan of checklist. So it's a few items, what step your users has to take to see the value from your feature. I have an example. When I was working at Woodpecker, it is called email tool. So the clients has to create an email account, has to connect their email account, has to create a copy and add prospects and run the campaigns. So it's a lot of steps. And we discovered that a lot of clients get lost in our application and we have a problem in the day 1. So we created a short checklist with only 3 items how to set up the first cold email campaigns, only to connect email account, add prospects, and run your campaign. And it was so good, and users really use this checklist because every item of this checklist links to the right place in the application, that we reuse this checklist in the next releases. Okay, let's go further. Step-by-step creator. It's also a really good strategy because you can engage your users in one action at a time. So they are focused and they think that it's really simple because just one thing to do it in one time. The creator shouldn't be lengthy, of course. The best, if it's possible, it should contain around 3 or 5 steps. It's the great. And from my perspective, the best way to create this step-by-step creator is to add the hardest step at the beginning, when your users have enough energy and engagement to do it. And then the easiest one, and you can maintain the engagement. Okay, I have another 3 strategies to increase the product adoptions. I really love using empty states. You probably see, and you probably have empty states in your application. Probably, for example, at Brand24, when our users don't create a project, so they don't monitor anything, they don't have charts, they don't have insights and statistics, so they see the empty states. And in these empty states, you can add clear information what they have to do to receive the value of your product, and you can emphasize why it's important to take this action. And loaders. Yes, still in some application, it's hard to avoid the loaders. One more time, example from Brand24. When we collect mentions for our clients, it takes several seconds because we are searching through the whole internet. So our users have to wait. And we were thinking if we have our users' attention in this moment, or they switch the tab and go away to do something else. And we prepared a short test. We add question for the loading. How often do you want to receive your reports from this project? And we conducted A/B test with other configuration of switches to check if we have our users' attentions. And after 1 month, we received the results, and it shows that we have users' attention, and they change the switches and customize for themselves. And we can use these loaders to promote connected features. It works because those 2 features were connected. Our users create a project, and they will receive the reports to emails every month or every week or every day. Badges. I don't like pop-ups or banners in the application because it's one-time action, and it really didn't work for a long time. But it's the other situation with badges, because you can add a badge, for example, for a few weeks or even for 2-3 months. And we saw that even small badge like new or beta really can increase the traffic. For example, in this comparison tab, when we added this badge after releasing, after a few weeks, we saw the increase in traffic around 10 or 11%. It was something like this. So really small changes, and the traffic increased a lot. And I prepared for today a full use case of our feature, our new feature at Brand24, our coordinate, because I am coordinating the onboarding process. So we start with creating project process. So background. We experienced the problem that a lot of our trial users entered the keyword to monitor too general or something meaningless. For example, we had a problem that some clients entered here keyword like music, newspaper. Sometimes it was even name of the country like Poland or Spain. It caused that our clients receive a really huge project, because you can imagine how many mentions in the internet, in the whole internet, is about Poland or music. So they received really meaningless data, meaningless insight, because the insights were really general. And they cannot see the value of the product. Another problem we have, some users entered the keyword like literally test or random numbers. It wasn't even similar to phone numbers. I have no idea what they were looking for. And another problem, they entered the links, full links, the full links to social profiles they want to monitor, like Facebook / something. And it costs 0 mentions, so we cannot find any mention with the whole links. And it's still the situation that we cannot provide any valuable info for them. We cannot create any charts when they don't have mentions, because everything is based on mentions. So we have those two problems, main problems. And we were thinking what we can do. We start with trying to help them repair their project after 0 mentions, to contact us or suggest how they can fix the project, link to help, and so on. But we realized that we are trying to help them after the project is broken, and we really want to prevent this problem. And we also realized that most of our paying clients use Brand24 for monitoring their own brand. It's the most popular use case of Brand24. It's not the only one use case, but it's really popular. So we are thinking if we can guide our users to do the same for trial users. We checked how many of our trials are registered with a business domain, and the number was satisfying for us. So we have this 1 point. We know that we can do something here, because it's the first screen when user registers. So we have enough traffic here to test and to have really great impact. What's more, we find out that less than 10% of our trials who register from business emails create a project for their own brand. So the potential was really high. So we are thinking what we can do, and we thought that we can use these email domains, because 90% of our paying clients who create the project for their own brand, the own brand was similar to the email domain. It was exact. So for example, when my email is joanna.jachuła@brand24.com, so the name brand is Brand24. And in most cases for our clients, it works as well. That is why we recently released the feature called Suggested Keywords. And we do it in a really easy way. So it is an exact email domain. Of course, we are upgrading it now. And we checked how it works. And we released that 38 of our trials from business domain use this keyword clicks at least 1. So it was really nice results, but it seems to be low, and we weren't sure at the beginning, so it's work or it isn't working. And we checked how many our clients use the use their project, create a project for the brand name, and we compare this to value. Because we know that some of our clients came to us to follow the competitors or follow the influencers, and we decided that the best way to measure the adoption is comparing this to value, and we are really excited about the results because it's similar right now. Yeah, and probably I'm not sure what time is it, but probably I was fast because I was stressed. I want to summary. So when you are sure that your product discovery process went well and you deliver the value, your feature will deliver the value, and you still have a problem with product adoption, so you should focus on three things: awareness of this feature, discoverability of this feature, and complexity. And from my point of view, the best tip I can give you is to find how you can connect your feature by addressing the same jobs to be done or the same use cases similar. And that's all I'm preparing for you today. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. I like check boxes. You mentioned about the check boxes. Checklist. Sorry. I like checklist a lot. I just use a checklist on my product. I didn't know that will support my adoption. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, any questions? Yes, please.
I do have one. Mostly about this discoverability and badges. How do you balance the trade-off? Because usually when user go into the product, different features are fighting for the same eyeballs. And from the many tests that I have run, it's usually that whenever I bring user to this specific feature, it's usually in expense of the other ones. So the eyeballs are going that direction. How do you balance it, and how do you measure if you are not hurting your business or other core features that might be important for the user?
Yeah, the second question about statistics is easier because we have a lot of metrics in our tool. The whole application has really great statistics, so we can measure the impact. So we can see if in every part of application, if the traffic increase or decrease, or the adoption and the retention. So we can balance it. It's not a problem for us. How to balance? It's harder. It's a hard question. We don't use it so much. We use only 1 or 2 badges at the time. So we don't use it in every new feature, just to. So it's like I use it for really important feature, not for every one we release. I prefer to linking these features together and don't need this badge. So, for example, the great start will be add badge at the one feature, and in this feature, it will be connected with others. I don't have a situation in my recent work that we really hard the other features because promoting one, because we are, I don't occur, so it's hard to answer right now. I will think and we will talk about it later.
Hello, my name is Adam. Thank you for the speech. I would like to ask about the discovery process and what techniques are you using to find the best solutions? Because for sure, some of the things can be measured by simple events, how many clicks, visits on the site, but maybe you have some opinion on what's the approach that you follow in Brand24? For example, like maybe you are using some eye tracking, mouse tracking, or most of the findings are based on the A/B testing groups, users. Yep.
Basically, we use HIP. It's a really great tool. We have events from all the application, and we create the funnel in HIP, so we can check how our user perform in other ways. So I spend a really big amount of money in this tool to check every possibility. I love not eye tracking, but I love recording of the users. I was using Full Story for 3 years, every day, every single day is Full Story. And also in Full Story, I created the funnel and check the user flow and check the recordings, check where, in what places that they drop out. But a lot of things, I have insights from our data warehouse. Yes, data warehouse. I know the Polish word in my mind. So we have a lot of data there and a lot of insight. It's just to spend the time there and searching. And of course, we have a really great discovery process and we talk with clients. So the clients give us some feedback, some insight, and we check it later in this heap to check how many users are in this place and how they behave. And then we check the whole database with this data warehouse. And in the data warehouse, we can check the past. So at Brand24 and at Woodpecker, I was really into data. So it was the most part of my work to checking various possibilities. And for example, this suggested keywords, it was also through the data because I checked how many users have this email domain and if the brand name is exact the brand they follow. So it's all about the data. And I really recommend combining 3 tools, one for user recordings, one for data funnels like Heap, Amplitude is the best tool, is a really nice tool as well. And one tool when you can see the whole history of your company. Brand24 is around 14 years on the market, so we have a lot of historical data, and it's really great.
Hello, I'm wondering how do you deal with the habits of the users once you realize that there is some silly things that they do, and then you replace it with a dedicated feature, or you just make it more convenient, but then they still are trying to do the same thing they did previously, and then usually the conversion or the usability of the feature seems to drop because they are trying to do the thing that they did previously and maybe now it's not available or something like this. Mm-hmm. And I'm wondering, how do you distinguish that they need to adapt for a while and then they will like it, or the idea was just missed and you overshoot the idea and this is something that users didn't really like?
Mm-hmm. I really, when users go through the application and they click in some places, I wonder why they are click at these places. I have an example even in the screen. We have the situation that our clients clicks a lot in this part, the statistic part. It isn't clickable. In the previous version of this screen, it looks like clickable, so we understand why they are clicking. But right now, it doesn't look like clickable, and we realized that users still do it. So probably it is a great place to link some feature, and we will probably do it in the next feature. So I don't really want to change user behavior. I want to add them something they think it will do. And we have the research room right now. So we have few clients at Slack and we can ask them instant. For example, we can ask them what they are thinking, what will happen when they click one of this part. So we can have instant feedback. So I know that it's really hard to fight with the habits. It's really easier to give user what they expect to do here. So I prefer to upgrade the user flow, not to change it. And you ask about when we decide that we should drop this idea. Mostly when we see that users don't use it, just don't use it. If they click and they think that it does something else, so it's our problems. When users aren't in one place and we trying to promote this feature a lot of times and trying to connect this feature and it still doesn't work, probably the clients won't need this feature. And we can also, of course, talk with our clients and check, and during the talk we can discover more and more. But we give up when a lot of clients, when clients don't use the feature, and during the talk they don't start to talk about it by themselves. So we talk about a lot of various parts of application, and we are really aware what they are talking by themselves, because it's urgent and it's important. It's not important what we want to show. It's important their use case.
Hey, thanks for the good talk. The thing I would like to ask is that in the beginning you mentioned there are 4 things that drive adoption, right? And in a summary, you recommend that you focus on 3. So yeah. I would like to ask what happened to the value proposition one.
Yes, because it's a product discovery process before. And I mentioned that if you are sure that your product discovery process went well, so it's a clue. If your feature has no value for clients because it solves the problem, it's not important for them or it's not urgent, so probably it will be really, really hard to encourage them to use it because they don't need it. So yes, the product, the value proposition and product discovery process is crucial, and it's at the beginning.
Last chance. Yes.
Hi, thank you a lot for a great talk. I would like to ask about an example that Żabka provided a few months ago. It was a big changes if you talk about the applications. And they create definitely absolutely big user journey and tasks to discover new features at the applications. Sometimes we have the situation that we need to release a lot of features at once, and new, probably it can be new for the customer. At such kind of situation, what can you recommend? How not to overwhelm the customer with different things that's happening in the application, but to create this process structure, logical, and easier to adopt.
I have 2 strategies here. I had a situation, maybe not in the scale the Żabka, but we rewrite our application to other programming language. So we have to release the full application at once. We have this problem. And for a long time, we maintain 2 versions of application. So the user can go back to the old one. And in Bread 24, we also do this strategy. When we release new screen and new view, we also allow users to use the old one for a long, long time, and we encourage users to switch in some ways, adding new features and promote the value of this new view. But we don't force users at once to switch, every users to switch. But Żabka probably is a little bit situation because it was fully new application and they have a lot of features which the old version didn't have. I saw this difference. And probably in these cases, of course, they should release in a small group of clients. Probably, I think that they did in the way, I'm not sure. And of course, a lot of interview with clients. And this new application, in my opinion, should only contain the most important functions and then adding the new one. But the Żabka released this whole application at once. It was risky, in my opinion. When I will release this application, probably I will deliver the small part of this application to adopt, to encourage clients to use, and then add the next features to adopt.
Okay, thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, Joanna Jachuła.
Thank you.